All right, well, I had a suggestion from someone to do chirp, growl, and neigh for some animal sounds, and I thought that was a neat idea. So we'll start with chirp. Okay. Well, that was decent. We got a green there at least. And I mean, we already know there's no I, G, or H. So are we gonna get an N or an E? Ooh, the E. Okay, and they're both green, the E and the R. All right. Well, my first instinct is to do E-A-R. Maybe beard? Can't do herd, there's no H. You know, that's not terrible. Could also be something like, you know, tears, except, you know, plural. We could also have another R, something like berry. Or teary. Something with a Y isn't too bad. I mean, it could also be, you know, a double E, something E-E-R. It's quite a few things it could be. I feel like it's got to be an A or another E or another R, most likely in the middle. So, I don't know. I kind of like beard. That was my first instinct. It's got some, I mean, berry is possibility. So, you know, we've got a couple words with bees and, let's go for it. Ooh, okay. Well, it's not berry. So, if it had a double R, what else could it be? Mary? It could be Mary. Now I'm wishing I'd guessed berry instead of beard. Okay, what else could it be? So I think Mary, if it's got a double R, it could have a double E. What's it gonna have at the end? An S? I don't like S. I mean, you know, something like Veers. Veers? Is that a double E? I think Veer is a double E, but I don't like that as well. Yeah, I don't know that there's much with a double E. It almost have to have a Y. I don't know. Maybe Mary's a good guess. I'm just wondering what else could be between the E and the R is the question. Could we have a T there? Now you could. I mean, that's, oh, well, yeah, actually, retry. I was about to say you could have a T in the middle, but you'd need to have like a vowel at the end, like an A or something, but you could do a Y, you could do retry. Or, well, if you're doing British spelling, you could do an E at the end and do something like meter. But since this is the New York Times, I'm assuming they're gonna use the American spelling, which would be ER. I mean, if I do Mary, which is what I was thinking about doing, and it's retry, we're gonna know there's, you know, I mean, we're gonna get the yellow R here, which has to be at the beginning. We're gonna get the Y that's green. So, I mean, it's gonna be retry at that point, obviously, anyways. I'm just trying to think if there's other things that I might be forgetting. Well, Jerry. Jerry is a possibility, like a jerry can. Yeah, that's fairy, isn't it? Oh, I forgot it's spelled that way. Okay, so that's a problem because we've only got 2 guesses left, and I've got Mary, Jerry, and Fairy, and retry. And I mean, veers is possible. It is a verb, not plural. So. Oh, and jeers. Or is that with an A? I feel like it's a double E, but I might be an A. I'm not sure. That one's lower down on my list. I'm mainly concerned about Mary, Jerry, Fairy, and then retry. Although if I do Mary, Jerry, or Fairy, I feel like if it's retry, I've got it because like we already said, the R will be at the beginning, etc. So it could do something like Jiffy, which would check, you know, verify that the Y is at the end, which eliminates veers and jeers. If it isn't a Y at the end, then I think it's got to be an EERS. And we would have the J for Veers versus Jeers. If it is the Y, we would have Jerry and Fairy because of the J and the F. And if it's not J or F, then I think it's gonna be Mary. This doesn't help with retry though. Because if we don't get the J or the F, it could be Mary or retry still. We could do something like comfy, which would, again, check for the Y. If it's not the Y, then I think... Then we don't know Jeers versus Veers. Is the problem with that one. But it would still check for Mary and Fairy. And if we get the Y and not the M or the F... No, again, it doesn't help with Jerry versus retry then. Okay, what if we did something like forms? Does that work? No, again, Jerry and retry. No. No, because, okay, if it's Fairy, we'll have the F and the R. If it's Mary, we'll have the M and the R. If it's... Oh, Jeers and Veers is the problem then. Yeah, it's Jeers and Veers because of the S. We'll have the S, but we won't know the J or the V. Well, I don't know. I can't come up with anything that's gonna check all of the possibilities. I feel like Jeers and Veers are the less likely options. And this checks for the R in the middle. So if we get the F, it's Fairy, M, it's Mary. If we don't get the F or the M, and we get the R, then it's gonna be Jerry. And if we don't get any of those, and we don't get the S, because if we get the S, then it's gonna be 50-50 Jeers and Veers. Otherwise, I think retry. I mean, that'll get me almost all the possibilities. I guess we'll just hope it's one of those and hope that it's not something I'm not even considering. There's probably some other word that I didn't even think of, but... I don't know, that's the best I can come up with. Let's go with it. Oh, and it's gonna be Mary. Which was the first one I thought of after Beard when I started thinking about the double R. Mary was the first thing I thought of anyways, so. Alright, I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be Mary? Yeah, it has to be Mary. Okay. Well, let me know if hearing a chirp, a growl, or a neigh makes you Mary, or if you prefer to fill out forms about your beard, I guess. I don't know. And how you did with today's Wordle. And be sure to subscribe for more puzzles. Well, we have 2 dogs, but they're both doodles, so there's no shedding.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And I don't shed.
You
so.
don't shed, yeah. No. My husband and I both have long hair, so we're both like, it's just everywhere.
Yeah. K with a double E, a double S, and a double E. Picked the wrong day to try and do a stepdle again. A Y? A Y? Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. What would that be? What about L? Logical? Logical? That seems like a logical guess. E-file. E-file. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Bit of paperwork as a form.